Hey Richard, you there was a lot of people speaking really well about you in the last Elon Spaces, and obviously this one went sideways. I noticed that he who must not be named is actually listening. Is there any possible way of you guys clearing up the spaces? Just because Kim had a lot of nice things to say to you in the previous spaces, and now it kind of went a little sideways.
Well, I mean, specifically, this is personal glory for him. He wants to be more popular. He doesn't like the United States government. He doesn't like how he's treated them, or how they have treated him. They've basically been trying to ruin his life for, I don't know, 10 plus years now. And they're a very easy target. You know, the American government does a lot of things wrong all day, every day, as do a lot of governments. So I get all that, you know, but you have to remember his end goal for you is to get you into BCH products. And so he's always tweeting links to BCH things. And he's direct messaging me to try to get me to buy BCH. I chose not to. I unwrecked myself. I'm a genius. You have to try and think about what people are trying to get you into. Mario's going to get you into NFTs. Kim is going to get you into BCH stuff. You might not even know what BCH is. Good for you. Lucky you. Congratulations. It's better that you don't. And then I'm going to get you into Hex, pulsex, pulsechain. And I think if we check the charts, my thing won. Go me.
Thanks for mentioning that, man. I just
No,
wanted to say
and
that
it's
you
just like
are that.
as far as the removal goes, like he likes me as a person. He likes my intellect, but he also knows I dominate conversations, and he wants to dominate the conversation. So you know, it was easier for him to just ban me than it was for him to just hope that I was going to do what I was going to do, which was just that three thing that I told you. That's all I had to say. I think that you should directly message your superior ideas instead of hoping that free speech does it for you, because you're going to be extremely disappointed. You used to be able to say more spicy stuff on the internet, and politics wasn't any better. So you have to directly promote the stuff that's better. You can't hope that free speech does it for you. It's a very poor substitute. It's like I understand his game, but like then after to like spite me to then also troll my users for engagement, it's unforgivable, right? The person that got screwed the hardest here was Elon. Elon doesn't have a fucking thing to teach me, nothing. But I have shit to teach him. The best thing, like when I met Anthony Robbins in person and told him, hey man, you should work on longevity. It took that fucking idiot 20 years before he started doing it. And now he's 20 years closer to death. So he could have accepted my awesome advice 20 years fucking earlier, but he was too stupid to. And this is not a stupid guy, right? He's the most successful success coach. But had he fucking listened to me 20 years ago, he'd be better off now. And the same would go for Elon. Elon, you're not right about longevity, and you're not right about the free speech thing. You misallocated your resources. You should have let Twitter continue to suck and then done what the Koch brothers did and promote your own ideals, or done what George Soros did and promote your own ideals. Because in the end, someone has to do that for free speech to work anyway. So it's like you bought everyone cooking pans, but they need cakes. Like you have to. The only good part of free speech is the part that advertises superior ideas, and everything else is horror, or an insurance policy against totalitarianism, right? In theory, I do not need Mario's users or Kim's users. I wouldn't mind some of Elon's zillion users, but I don't need them, right? And for me, I also don't think it's too healthy to go on a too anti-American bent, because you just get butthurt, right? You're just like, you know, I have to go get vengeance against them now, but there's no them, right? Let's just like this vacuous, amorphous thing that you just generally have hatred about. And what you learn is like a lot of times for you to be, for you to have more privacy, you have to be less private. And if you have more freedom, you have to try less to have freedom. It's counterintuitive. Like if you try to use a phone that doesn't have any tracking software on it, you're never going to use a phone. This is not going to happen. If you try and only use companies that don't abuse your data, you're never going to use any companies. You have to find this middle ground where you pick your battles, you pick the hills you're going to die on. And being anti-American ain't the hill I'm going to die on. Because what does that do? I mean, you'd be better off moving to a better place, as I did decades ago, than you would be trying to fix that place. It's too hard. I wrote a whole book about it, right? It's called Fix the World. Feel free to read it. I don't think they did an audiobook for it yet. It's like, it's on t.me/scivive, SCIVIVE. I know what the game is. I don't need to play the game. They're playing the wrong game. Trying to make Twitter Spaces successful isn't even going to work. It's going to die like Clubhouse did, in my opinion. What would you prefer? Okay, would you prefer to hear what Elon said in a 2-minute snippet from the conversation, would you rather scroll through 4 hours of space and the app crashes? I'd rather just hear the snippet. Audio snippets, which you can put on Snap, Insta, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, massively dominant viral technique compared to, oh, look, we just blew 4 hours on this thing. And the only utility it has is someone's going to grab a snippet from it. I mean, the only other side utility you get from this is like, if you're impressive enough, some people follow you. But who gives a shit? Like, I was there, right? Like, I was sitting, like, this stuff is all pussy stuff. This is not hardcore stuff. Successful direct mail campaign that could reach the planet is hardcore. This bullshit social media stuff, like after 5 or 6 years, I still only have 250,000 followers. Total and complete failure. Like these numbers are not reasonable, useful. They're trash. I know it seems like I should be proud of them because like they're higher than other people in my space, but they shouldn't be happy with them either. This is not successful engagement. This is not successful on-ramping. This is screaming to the same people that we already know. They already know us here. We're a known entity. We run Twitter. Like with crypto Twitter, X dominated it. And pulsechain will likely dominate it even harder because all those other scumbag influencers have bags. And so they're going to be like, yeah, you know, hey, before I dump my bag on you, here's something nice to say about this thing. That's what they usually do, right? I can't speak well enough of when I used to have a car stereo store. I had an advertisement in the local bargain trader classified ads that said punch 800-watt amplifier, $375. I think it was $190. If you wanted the real punch amp, you could get it for like $375. I think my cost on it was $325. But then I'd usually try and sell it for like $435. But if I had to come down the price, I'd do it. So there was an 800-watt RMS amp, which was enough for 412s, which no one had. And there was an 800-watt max amp, which is enough for 212s, which everyone had. So what everyone really needed was the 800-watt max amp, not the 800-watt RMS, which is 1600-watt max, because they would just blow all their speakers. You use the ambiguous language of 800 watts. They don't know whether it's max or RMS. They have to call you. That's your clickbait. And then you give them the best deal they can get. They can't get it cheaper anywhere else. Brand new product, can't get it cheaper anywhere else. What do you want? So it worked. And that would bring in customers for years. That is the kind of durable, long-lasting, affordable, useful, synergistic marketing that I like to see in the world. Here's the right product, not the wrong product, and here's the best price. Let's go. And that's what I look for in crypto. And it's not Twitter Spaces. Because it's like the rest of the community saying, I've been dominating them, and then, you know, I picked up 10 or 20 key users, and okay, cool. I'd rather like focus on other stuff. I'd rather get my museum done.